cracking start for Stuart Bingham. Beautiful long red.
It was, but he finished just off straight, the wrong side on the black.
Yeah, that looked a bit tight for comfort to me.
Stuart Bingham won.
Just early on, pushing the boat out just a tad. It was very, very high tariff of difficulty. Was that black?
One.
Trump really came into his own in spring 2011. He won the China Open, his first world ranking title,
8.
and he got to the final of the World Championship at the Crucible. Lost 18-15
9.
to John Higgins, but it was a terrific match, a terrific occasion. Trump played some terrific snooker.
Yeah, he came to prominence
16.
really quickly, didn't he? Judd Trump, as you say, a couple of years ago. Was almost a surprise winner out in China, and then, as you say, followed it up with a brilliant run at the World Championships.
$70.
Now, if this black goes in, you'd have to think he's definitely going to be on a red, so this could be a frame winning chance. I know the pink's out of commission, but the way the reds are spread.
24. Can you turn your earpiece down, please? Security.
Blue's available, black's there too, so a decent chance this.
$25.
I think it's quite likely this is going to be an entirely different sort of match to the one that Trump played this afternoon, in which he beat Marco Fu 4-1. There was a lot of safety in that, a lot of frames relatively slow. The balls always seem to disperse into awkward positions, but
28.
I think this one could be much freer flowing.
Yeah, they're well suited, aren't they, these two players? They're very attacking. As we know, Judd's safety game has improved a lot the last probably 12
29.
months or so. So he knows how to mix it up on that side as well. But they're all about scoring, these two lads.
He's just got to strike the balance between incorporating what he's learning all the time about choice of
34.
shot and other tactical issues, while not
35.
throttling back on his natural potting and break building.
Yeah, just coming the wrong side of the blue there. He's now forced to play this mid-distance red.
40.
Shouldn't be a problem for him. Yeah, and a good cue
41.
ball as well. So the lead at 40. Plenty of loose reds still.
$46.
I think Bingham can see the writing on the wall here as far as the first frame's concerned.
47.
Yeah, he just got a kick there, didn't he? Played a stun run through, played it well, found a gap nicely on the black. So one good positional shot here should set the frame up.
54. $55.
Has to come in and out of book.
Oh, that was beautifully played. He had a decent margin of error, but he couldn't have played it better. Nicely on the red.
60.
Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, and saying that, was that a kick?
Judd trump 60.
Well, I don't think it was. I think he just assumed he was going to pot that.
He was maybe just a bit quick on it, wasn't he? He played it really fast. And with it effectively being frame ball, it could be a huge blunder.
1.
Especially if Stuart Bingham can take this next red along the rail and get a nice angle in the black to just dislodge the two that are together. We'll find
8.
out in a couple of shots whether that top red of the two will pass, whether he's got enough room to just play on it.
9.
He's just looking at now. He has options. He can play the cannon. Well, that shot tells us that he must think the right one of the right hand side of the two
16.
reds will pass. Otherwise he would have played the cannon off that black. So it's key here that he gets a nice angle on a colour. Should be top side of the black. Yeah, that's fine.
17.
He's just about 3 or 4 inches
24.
short of pace there. Not sure whether he can cut this in. May have to play it with a touch of right hand side.
Well,
25.
not only potted the red, but brought the pink off the side cushion. So there's no obvious impediment now to a winning clearance.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Played that 100 times.
30.
He couldn't play it any better, so he's gone huge favourite to take this opening frame and snatch it from Judd's grasp. He really should have made sure of that red a few moments ago.
31.
Quite a big psychological issue hanging on this clearance. Bingham would have been assuming he was out of the game, and if he can win it, well, what a bonus. And it could give him the impetus to maybe go on to even better things. Trump is bound to be deflated
36.
if Bingham clears up here. Got to be careful not to foul the pink.
38. $41.
No, that's excellent
45.
to finish low in the blue. Means he can put the white virtually wherever he wants this for the pink.
50.
There's just one good positional shot here. I would imagine he'll just be dropping it through off 2 cushions.
56.
terrific opening frame. Trump first in with 60. Carelessly missed frame ball. It was pretty easy. And Bingham, an immaculate clearance of 63 to win the frame on the black and lead 1-0.
Second frame, Stuart Bingham to break.
So Stuart Bingham buoyed by poaching the opening frame on the black with a 63 clearance. Breaks off in the second frame. Stopped there because a mobile phone went off.
One.
Cracking open in red, very similar to the one Stuart Bingham knocked in from Judd's break-off in frame 1. He did say earlier he's trying to frighten players, as Neil alluded to, by going for these long balls, but that was a little bit more measured. That was fine. I don't know how well has he hit this.
Too well.
Yeah, incredible cue power.
4.
We know he's got it all. Incredible that he screwed back as much as that off the green.
Judd trump 4.
The thin cut fails, and very often the problem with a thin cut, if it does fail, is that there isn't enough run on the ball to take it very far from the pocket.
Yeah, he's making his intentions clear, Judd, from the outset here, though, isn't he? He's going to take them on, I think, tonight. If Stuart leaves anything sticking out, he's going to have a go at it. That much is clear.
1.
There's not much to play at here, really. He obviously has the loose red to the right. Not sure if the 2 by the black will pass. Well, that's not bad, as long as he can pot the
6.
red right of the black. Be following through a couple of cushions. Won't be playing for the black here. Just be following through, as I say, a couple of cushions, hoping to get top side of the blue, something like that. Just didn't quite get through it, but it's not bad. That's a good attacking shot Stuart's playing, if the pink doesn't go back in its spot. I say that because obviously it would go in the black spot, and if he can find a nice angle on it, get possibilities of maybe
13.
developing a few reds.
Not the best angle on the blue. Straightish to a ball pocket would have been much easier.
Yeah, it's kind of what we call no man's land, in between the pink and blue spot there. Always have the option of yellow or green. Looks like he's taking the green on. Yeah, well done. There was pressure on that as well. It was guaranteed to leave plenty. He looks in good nick this evening.
17.
He did today. He's carrying on from where he left off.
$18.
Bingham a 4-0 winner over Ricky Walden this afternoon. Walden a bit below par
23.
in terms of performance.
24.
Very nicely played. Played
29.
like that. He felt that he'd always got a very good chance of being on the red over the pocket anyway, whatever happened to the split.
Yeah, it was a clever little shot, wasn't it, Clive? In all honesty, was quite unfortunate to block the path of the pink into the other corner. So this has to be played with plenty of care. Easy to go wrong. Oh, that's a nice
30.
little kiss. Holds his hand up, an apology. As I said, it could have gone wrong, but when you're playing well, that's the kind of little kisses that you get. It always seems to be the way, and this is now a genuine chance to put
30.
the second frame on the board.
$36.
Trump attempted a cut to corner, which let Bingham in for this break.
$42. $43.
Problem here, Stuart, he doesn't really want to risk any sort of cannon. Don't think he's straight enough in the pink to hold for the red left a picture. There you see it. Yeah, there you see it. Just a bit too much angle. As I say, he doesn't really want to risk a cannon because then it can go wrong. Yeah, well played though.
$49.
Looking good, isn't he, Clive?
He certainly is, and he's not all that far away from a 2-0 lead.
$50.
Yeah, I like the way he plays, Stuart Bingham. As I said this afternoon, when the balls are nice and open, he gets on with it, but when he needs to do a bit of thinking, he takes his time. I like that.
56. Touching ball.
And as usually seems to be the case, just when you're getting close to the winning line in the frame, things can go awkward. This is a toughie.
57.
Yeah, played it well. Shouldn't be a problem from here.
Just needs pink and one more red to secure the frame.
$63. $64.
Trump has missed 2 pots, and they've cost him 2 frames. He missed on 60 in the opening frame. As easy a frame ball as you would wish to have,
70.
and Bingham cleared up with 63. And in this frame,
71.
he missed a cut to corner. And Bingham has been at the table ever since.
$77. 78. 84. 85. 91. 93.
Polished, fluent, above all,
96.
effective.
105. 111.
'And with that clearance of 111, a clearance apart from the black that is, Stuart Bingham leads Judd Trump by 2 frames to 0.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions tournament. It's the Group 3 final between Judd Trump and Stuart Bingham. It's the best of 11 and Bingham has taken the opening 2 frames. This is now the third.
Sometimes as a player like Stuart, the shot Stuart Bingham's just played there, he knows that he's leaving Judd maybe a possible red, but you say to yourself, well, if you knock that in, pal, and make a frame winning break, then good luck to you. But there's pressure on this, and there you go. What damage has he done? It looks like plenty. It was almost as if he bought that chance, wasn't it, with his shot selection there, Stuart Bingham. Very clever, playing a drop on there at the right side cushion. As I say, he knew he was leaving Judd a tempter. He's fallen into the trap that Stuart set him.
Careful of the waistcoat, Stuart. Careful.
1.
Yeah, that was a tough one for the referee, wasn't it?
Well, if it had been a foul, I'm sure Michaela Tabb would have spotted it.
Yeah, she's a fantastic referee, Michaela Tabb, as we all know. There's an eagle eye in those kind of situations. Anyway,
6.
Stuart Bingham going about his merry way here.
Seven.
'" Judd Trump's parents there.
Well, that's beautifully played, and I think that's the red Stuart
12.
Bingham played on there nice and straight on it. Got nothing to do with the cue ball, and he's plumb on the black. This, we can say, is another chance that he doesn't look like messing
13.
up. So once again, just shot selection issues possibly from Judd Trump has been his undoing here.
Well, there is a possibility, if Bingham makes the most of this, that Trump could go 3-0 down.
20.
It's tight, that red, isn't it? It looks like it'll go certainly off the left hand side of the pocket as Stuart plays it. Yeah, controlled the white
20.
perfectly as well.
I cast my mind back to last season, the Premier League, when in the same evening Stuart Bingham beat both Mark Selby and Neil Robertson 6-0 each.
Yeah, it was some performance, wasn't it? I think he had about 7 or 8 centuries in those 12 frames, if memory serves me correctly. Without doubt, it's one of the best
26.
performances, session performances that is, the game's probably ever seen.
$27.
Just a little bit awkward. But it wasn't as if the cue ball was right up against the red that he was
34.
forced to bridge over.
35. $42.
That cannon proves the position for later.
43. $50. $51. $58.
All Trump can do is hope Bingham misses.
59.
Yeah, and the trouble is, he doesn't look like he's capable of it right now, does he? Playing absolutely beautifully out there. And once again, we're at the point where the frame is almost
66.
gone. Red colour, and it will be.
$67. $72. 73.
So it is going to be 3-0 to Bingham.
$78.
Yeah. 11 reds, 6 blacks, 5 blues. He won't bother about that one though.
And the free.
Well, a surprise miss, but not until he was well past the winning post. So with that 78 break, Stuart Bingham increases his lead to 3-0.
Thank you. The fourth frame. Stuart Bingham to break.
3-0 to Bingham then. Breaks of 63 to win on the black, 111 and 78. Now, long red. He could feel slightly differently about it 3-0 down than 3-0 up, but made no difference. Played it perfectly.
Yeah, that took a lot of guts, didn't it? To knock that long red in, and no little skill either, might I add.
8.
Created himself a decent opening.
Nine.
A top player, wouldn't you agree, Alan, has got to master the knack of forgetting what's gone before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a weapon that is not really much, you know, it's not thought about by probably the general public, but all the players out there know about these things, because it's going to happen a lot. That's guaranteed. You're going to have massive disappointments during a match, not only the outcome of a match. So you've got to be able to sit back, try and put it out your mind, as you say.
Thank you. 15. Okay. 16.
One red that he can easily get on, but he may still contemplate going into the bunch.
Yeah, I'll settle for that. The red over the right middle, I think, is going to save him here. He'd like to stay down in amongst the black area there. The one next to the black may go, but this is the more sensible shot. He can build the break from the top side of the blue.
22.
We won't do it now he's in a break.
It's not quite ideal. He's about a foot short of pace there. He's going to have to trust to luck just a bit here. Deep screw across and across, hopefully top side of the blue. Yeah, like 28. I say, he was never guaranteed to be nice position there, and that's what happens. That wasn't a bad shot, it was the blue initially. As I say, he was a foot short of pace.
Green.
Now is he on the outside red?
31.
Yeah, nothing doing there for me. Doesn't look enough room to get through to that. You can see that he wants to play it, but sometimes you've got to take your medicine.
Judd Trump, 31.
31, yes, but he'd be disappointed with that. He lost the cue ball 2 or 3 shots ago and didn't really get good position back. Clever use of the middle pocket jaw by Bingham, but the cue ball has in fact gone back into baulk and out again. This is within range for Trump, but pink and black not available. Good pot, but again hasn't managed to get perfect position. Far from it.
Yeah, he just didn't quite get into the cue ball as he normally does. Sticking on the blue, just a safety to follow, but at least he's got a couple of reds that are in safe positions. And with a 32-point lead, he's big favourite as things stand this frame. He's just got to try and consolidate things for a while, Judd Trump. If he can get in at the interval 3-1 down, come out firing, back to 3-2, it's game on again.
I think the pivotal shot in this match so far was the frame ball that Trump missed on 60 in the opening frame. Nothing's really gone for him since then. He ought to have been 1-0 up, with all the encouragement that entails, but he missed that. Lost the frame to Bingham's 63 clearance and hasn't really done a lot since then, although Bingham of course has.
A clever little safety that from Stuart, just bringing one of the difficult reds into play. Just giving Judd something to think about. As I say, a 32-point lead is not bad the way the balls are. Just maybe a little bit ambitious there again. Don't want to criticise because he's trying to be aggressive as Judd, but he did try to play it as a shot to nothing with the white in behind the other red, but I think he's left Stuart something here to the far left corner. No, he's managed to cover it, looks like. And Stuart tickle him in behind the black though.
Well, Trump's got to be careful here. It's not as if he was playing off a side cushion into a tight pack of reds.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult this, isn't it? Not to leave Stuart some kind of shot on a red.
Foul and a miss. Stuart Bingham 4.
Yeah, the cue ball will be replaced. That'll be a slight adjustment from Judd Trump. Shouldn't be a problem making contact with the red in the next shot or two.
Foul and a miss. Stuart Bingham 4.
Yeah, Judd is, I think, just questioning why he's just having a
I didn't see it move.
just having a little conversation with
Did you see
Michaela.
anything? No. Didn't. Yeah, it didn't. No.
No, I think the referee's right. Television evidence.
Okay. Right.
Now that moved.
Yeah, that solved the predicament that Judd was in. As I said, he was always going to hit it within 2 or 3 shots. And the fact that he just tied the pink up a little bit more won't do him any harm either.
Touching ball.
That's posed another question. Cue ball hemmed in by red on one side, black on the other. Well, it wasn't such a great question as all that, because it turned out that the red went to far corner. It did require a good shot, but it's the sort of shot that Trump will, I think, knock in more often than not.
Yeah, he just missed a trick, didn't he, Stuart Bingham? You would have expected him to be full in the knowledge that the little nestle into the red he was playing would have left that possibility for Judd. Anyway, it's gone now.
9.
You would expect Judd, under normal circumstances, to make no mistakes from here and securing the frame. Still get a little bit of work to do. But like I say, if he can get in at 3-1 at the mid-session interval, he'll feel a lot better.
12.
Heavy contact. Cue ball cleaned.
Yeah, green's a shot here. Nothing to do with the cue ball. For the red to follow. Nice angle in the blue, and he'll be back in amongst the reds again. So should be a formality.
15. 16. 21. 22. 29.
Frame ball then.
30.
And unlike the first frame, he didn't miss it.
35.
It's odd, isn't it, Alan, how
36.
just one bad shot seems to have such an influence on a match.
Yeah, and it seems to happen at the standard these guys play at these days. That, you know, it happens regular. Just one loose shot, one errant shot changes the whole match. I mean, who knows, if he'd potted that simple red that he missed in the first frame, Judd could be 3-1 up.
38.
And you know, I would have said he probably would have been. I think it's definitely a case of it has changed the match. But
39.
like I say, he's got a frame in the board. He'll feel much better. Go to the practice table, hit a few balls, and hopefully come out strong after the mid-session interval.
He just fails to develop the last
41.
red.
Oh.
So
41
after
for
losing
Trump. For Stuart
the
Bingham.
first three
Judd Trump.
frames, Judd
29. $35. $36.
good chance this for Bingham to secure a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, just having to work off the blue here.
41.
Just a few shots. Pink doesn't go anywhere at present, and the black's only on to right corner as we see it. Oh,
Stuart Bingham, 41.
Well, that's the most important ball that Bingham has missed. Similar in some ways to the one that Trump missed in the opening frame.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing myself, Clive. It was identical, wasn't it? It's the first real easy ball that Stuart Bingham's missed
One.
in this match. Now there's just a little bit of good fortune that Judd was maybe looking for there. That could have finished horribly, but it's perfect. So a good chance of the counter-attack. And if he's on the red, yeah, nice and straight into the corner. The next 30 or 40 shouldn't be any problem.
7.
It's all going to be about those two reds left the picture.
I'm not so sure that there'll be much of a problem either, because Trump is
14.
a left-hander. He'd be over the best side of the table for him to play those.
15.
I think he's
22.
just come high enough where he can just drop this red dead weight and stay in the black. In fact, he played it with a little bit of
23.
check, a bit of right hand side.
I'm sure Trump is fully conscious that this could be a pivotal moment in the match, a pivotal visit. If he clears up, he's only one frame behind at 3-2. If he
30.
misses the clearance, there's every possibility he'd go 4-1 behind.
31.
He may have felt as if he got a slightly bad contact there, Judd Trump. White just didn't make the journey. Should still be okay being a left-hander. As long as he gets the pot, you would expect him to be nicely on a red. Yeah, it's well done.
.38.
And he's elected to play for one of the more awkward reds.
Sure.
But
39.
for him, not all that awkward.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't so much a kick, that just a slightly heavy contact was enough to just take the pace out the white. Should be able to play a little soft screw onto the face of the pink though. I think he's just okay. The top red will pass.
46. .47.
Now then, playing quite deliberately here for a choice of both reds. He'd like to be on the one that's down the left side of the table if he can, but that's obviously going to be with the rest if he decided to play it, so
49.
he'll just leave that for a shot or two.
.50.
I'm sure he played to leave blue to middle, but it's a good angle to the corner.
So let's look at the scoreboard. There you see 14 in front. Red black would be 22. So still going to need the green, but he's come
56.
short of pace. So Barron potting the pink here into the yellow pocket. It's going to be end of break, I feel. Now what does he do here, Clive? Does he take it on, or does he play the snooker?
Well, the snooker is absolutely certain if he thinks of doing that, but the downside of that is, will he get a better chance?
Yeah, I guess it's a simple case of, you ask yourself, what's the odds of me potting the pink? If it's 70-30 in your favour, you probably take it on. I don't blame him doing that. He has a 15-point lead. Obviously Stuart needs the black. A little bit of insurance doing that.
Yes, however attack-minded you are, there is a time to back off. The double is on here.
Yeah, certainly won't be playing the cut back into the middle. I don't think that's even on. I've no idea really of where the white would finish, so this double, I would say, he's a shade favourite to get it if he plays it. Players of this class, you'd expect him to make the double.
Well, the yellow looked different to Trump to how it looked from up here, but he's still not past the post. 17 in front, needs two more colours.
Yeah, as I said, he had no real idea where the cue ball was going there. And he does still have a shot in the green. It's not quite on its spot, so it's a wee bit easier than it would have been had it been on the spot. So you'd maybe fancy him to knock this in. In fact, he's not even played it.
Judd Trump too.
He's got second prize though. Kept the pressure on Stuart Bingham.
Thank you.
It's not so much can Bingham hit the green, but can he get it safe? So Trump needs green and brown. He asked for the cue ball to be clean, which may be an indication that he's going to try and get to the brown by means of a deep screw.
Yeah, we know he's got the cue power. Certainly won't be getting on the brown playing in this with any sort of top spin. So it looks like a straight deep screw. Oh, how'd you like this? Absolutely perfect.
Terrific cue power. The secret of which is having the cue travel at maximum acceleration as it goes through the ball.
7.
So he has won this vital frame. Bingham was first
12.
in with 41. He missed unexpectedly. Trump lost position on 56. But after a few exchanges, Trump has got in again.
12 and frame.
And therefore pulls up to only one behind. He was 3-0 down, but now his deficit is only 3-2.
Welcome back to Coventry for the Group 3 final between Stuart Bingham and Judd Trump. It's Trump who was feeling the pressure early on, having taken just a single frame in the opening 4. But in the 5th, he clawed one back, although Bingham is back at the table looking to extend his lead.
Four.
The red virtually on the black spot. It's a very good one to get rid of. For when the black goes back on its
5.
spot. But that was short of pace from Bingham. Instead of being pretty much straight on black to middle, what is he on?
Yeah, he's 2 feet short of pace at least, isn't he, Clive? He wanted to be left of the pink spot there for the black to right centre. He can still cut it back, but there's no real future positionally from that. He's not forced to play it into the far right corner, but if he's going to take it on, I would say that would be the shot. As I say, cutting it into the middle, I'm not sure which red he can play on.
Well, from being pretty well placed, Bingham somehow or other got himself into a tangle.
Yeah, and he's put himself in a real bit of stoom here, because the red's second nearest the pocket. That would be the natural shot to rest the white in the jaws of the pocket, but it looks a natural in-off to me. That's why he's playing 2 cushions in the back of this red near the black cushion.
Stuart Bingham 12.
Yeah, if this red goes to right middle, there's a bit of pressure attached to it. He knows unless he gets the white in the baulk cushion, he can't get this safe. So as I say, there's some pressure on it. Oh, brilliant.
1.
And in case he didn't pot it, he got the cue ball just where you suggested he should, Alan. It's also the ideal angle to get back up amongst the Reds in prime scoring territory.
3.
Just one or two mistakes creeping in from both players, isn't there, at present? But the main thing is, from a Judd Trump perspective, he's just seems to be getting the better of exchanges.
4.
Yeah, not just potting mistakes. I mean, for Bingham to miss his position by 2 feet from close range was extraordinary.
11. 12. 12.
Well, what an awful shot. Straight black from its spot, screwing back.
Yeah, just symptomatic of what I was saying a few moments ago. Just some mistakes creeping in from both players. I mean, 2 or 3 frames ago, this kind of position, you'd fully expect Stuart Bingham to win the frame from here, even although he's 27 behind right now. But just the way things are at present, nothing's certain.
It's sometimes difficult in a frame in which there have been quite a few mistakes on both sides, suddenly to settle and say, that doesn't matter what's gone before. A winning contribution here is well within my ability.
8.
And previous mistakes or not, I'm going to make the necessary contribution.
9.
'It's a frame which makes the difference between 4-2 to Bingham and 3-all.
16. 17.
Yeah, and part of the reason these guys are the top players is when they're presented with a chance like this, 30 or 40 behind with 6 or 7 reds, and they need to produce a clearance, more often than not they do it. It's already happened twice in this match already.
24.
Can Stuart Bingham do it for a second time?
25. 32.
Into the lead with that black.
33.
Yeah, now ideally here Stuart Bingham will play low in this red into one of the corners if he can, and that's perfect. He'll now play for blue or bulk colour.
40. 41.
Well, his cueing may be a bit restricted here.
Yeah, certainly is, Clive. I think he can avoid the cannon on the yellow. If he can, position shouldn't really be a problem. It's all about knocking the brown in here. Position you would think is pretty automatic. Yeah. So 17 the lead. Yellow, green,
45.
brown to restore a 2-frame cushion.
47.
Well, I shouldn't think he'll miss it, but straight on the green with a hand bridge was the shot that he intended to leave.
Thank you. 50.
The caption just confirming 22 ahead, 22 left. Just this normally simple brown, and it will be 4-2.
54.
Well, Bingham has still had to pot the balls, but you could say that two very bad errors
59.
have cost Trump 2 frames. His miss on 60 in the opening frame,
65.
and
the
his
frame.
horrible miss on a straight black, screwing back in this frame. Bingham does the necessary with 65 and leads by 4 frames to 2.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions tournament. It's the Group 3 final between Judd Trump and Stuart Bingham. Trump at the table, attempting to close the 2-frame gap with Bingham.
5 on the mix.
Well, it was our old friend the hit and hope. The cue ball is well on the way to Leicester, having shot off the end of the table.
That was a steeple chaser, wasn't it? That's what we call that one. The Grand National's not for another 3 or 4 months.
Do you want to have a look at that?
Well, if you cue downwards and hit the ball hard into the cushion, it will jump.
Yeah, the problem is he's hitting it so hard initially, the white's actually bouncing before it gets to the first cushion, doesn't it? As I say, it's just because of the pace that he's hitting it.
Bit more.
Yeah, he's an honest lad though, Judd, as most players
Yeah.
are in this game. He won't steal any slight advantage.
Start again.
Make sure he gets the cue ball back as near as he can to where it was before. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Trump struck downwards with such force that he's made a little hollow in the cloth.
Just won't sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Stuart's just suggesting, Clive, isn't it? That it may have made a hole. Just a little indentation in the bed of the table. But like I said before, Judd Trump won't play this with any advantage whatsoever. He's as honest as the day is long in this kind of situation as Judd Trump.
Okay.
It's 2 minutes 20 seconds since Trump's first attempt. Skill or just hope?
Well, as I suggested the first time, he's going to go across and across here, but he's no real knowledge of which red he's actually trying to hit. Unless the two reds together, unless one of them goes, it'll be put back. But Stuart Bingham's having a look around, so obviously it goes.
One. Eight. Nine.
Now he'd love to be able to get through to this red nearest the black here.
16.
Not sure if he can. No, he can't.
17.
Oh, is he on the pink? No. His body language tells us no, sir. But what I can tell you there is that Stuart thinks this has caught the edge of one of the slates. That's what he's just putting his fingers on. There's 5 slates to a snooker table bed. Obviously can't have 4 because you can't have a line across the blue spot. What it has done there is caught the line of the first slate. Let's just see if we can see a deviation here, just as the white runs across. Yeah, there you see it. It's pushed it south, hasn't it? Unusual that, Clive. You don't see that very often, do you?
Very rare. Good spot, Alan.
I think it was, though, wasn't it? It was definitely the slate, wasn't it? The corner of the slate, which is normally about 5 or 6 inches below the pink spot. So that was the problem.
Brimble. Stuart Bingham, 17.
Okay, the tab having a very good look at where the cue ball is in relation to this red, in case she has to replace it. Nicely Judd swerved to find the edge of that red, but it ended up short.
Yeah, you're right, it was a good hit, wasn't it? At least he's not left anything simple. And Stuart Bingham's just weighing up whether this is worth taking on.
The pot is missable. Position by no means a certainty.
Yeah, and the bridging's difficult as well over the top of the green there. Not so much with his cue, but with his bridge arm. I would say he's going to decide against it. No, looks like he's taking the aggressive option. Oh, brilliant, and deserves to be on the pink.
1.
That could be the shot which gives him the passport to this frame. Only a few in front at the moment, but the potential is there to clinch the frame at this visit.
Yeah, what a pot it
7.
was. Not so much the pot, but position. It was fully intentional.
8.
He knew he was going to screw off the edge of the little pack of reds to finish nicely, and the pink was fully deserved, as I said.
So if Bingham makes the best of this,
15.
Trump is going to be bang up against it.
16.
3 down with 4 to play.
$23. 24. 31. 32.
'Past the post then
Sure.
to a
39.
5-2 lead.
Thank you.
What would you say about this match, Alan? Bingham has made fewer significant mistakes and his tactical play has been just that little bit better.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Clive. I think they've both missed a few sitters, haven't they? You know, crunch balls, and they've both punished each other at times, but overall Stuart
47.
scored just a touch heavier, but also his tactical game and shot selection have just been a little bit better than Judd's, I think.
Stuart Bingham. 47 and different.
A break of 47, which gives Bingham the frame, and a lead of 5-2, which is 3 up with 4 to play.
Welcome back to the group final between Judd Trump and Stuart Bingham. Both men playing for the chance to meet Mark Selby in the semi-final. Bingham has dominated the early stages of this match and is now just a frame short of overall victory.
As you said, Clive, the difficult shots don't seem to be too much problem for Judd. It's when he gets in close, maybe it's a concentration issue, who knows, maybe just confidence. But like I said before, there's no give up in this young man. He'll keep going. As I say, he'll keep fancying it as long as he's out there.
Four. 5. 10. 11.
Yeah, I think for sure he'll play the cannon in the black this time, off the blue. It may just be a bit thin for comfort, so it's a deep screw for hopefully a choice of 2 reds. effortless cue power, wasn't it?
13.
In actual fact, he's a bit unlucky there to land just the wrong side of straight. As we know, mind you, he has the cue power to get top side of the blue here. So it's deep screw once again.
14.
Again, just the wrong side of straight. Things just not happening for him. But he's built up a decent lead. 23, blue should be 28.
Another pile driver coming up.
Judd Trump, 19.
But however good you are, you can't get those all the time. Trump goes back to his seat. Only 28 in front.
One.
Yeah, now does he have enough angle in the blue to force this in and out of baulk? It might be worth the risk. Be playing it through brown and green. Just a little touch of right hand side, as I say, maybe too straight for that shot. The shot I'm thinking of is through brown and green, touch of right hand side, 2 cushions, and try and cannon the red and black together.
There would be a higher probability of success to that shot if the cue ball was a little further away from the side cushion.
Yeah, that's the other problem, as you rightly say, Clive. If it was even out 2 or 3 inches, it would make it far easier deciding on the safety. At least he's got the pink in open plate.
Thank you.
Trump doesn't want to move the red away from the black. Holding a 27-point lead.
Yeah, decent containing safety, but he may just be faced with a similar problem. A few seconds time. Just push this red left of the black as we see it. Cue ball in behind brown and blue.
Well, from the way that Trump was shaping up there, he must believe there's room between the brown and blue to get at the left-hand red.
It doesn't look like it. Excuse me, doesn't look like it from that picture, does it? Can't hit this red for me.
Foul and a miss. Stuart Bingham, 4.
It's vital that Michaela Tabb is millimetre perfect in replacing the cue ball. Trump certainly took a while to play the last shot, so she did have time to plot it in her mind. Trump's just looking at where the chalk mark from his previous attempt is. So our technical wizards are assuring us in the commentary box that the cue ball is back in exactly the right place.
Yeah, it's not so much about hitting a red here that's the problem, is it, Clive? It's that red against the black. That's the last thing he wants to do is dislodge that. Yeah, good hit, but he has left a cut back here for Stuart Bingham, and it's potentially match ball. Of course, he would still have to make the clearance, but it could pave the way.
Well, he's bound to develop the black from this red. The pink's hanging over the middle pocket. So this is a chance for a match-winning clearance.
1.
No, he's finished too low.
7.
Yeah, just betwixt and between, wasn't he? Right. It was an easy safety, obviously. Just wondering whether he's thinking about taking the red onto right middle pocket. So whether he can get decent position from it, that'll determine whether he plays it or not. Looks like he's deciding just in the safety shot. Don't blame him. And he's found a nice gap through the green and brown. That was quite deliberate.
Well, he got the snooker for sure there. Hit it exactly as he wanted to, full from behind, but that's even better. He's left Bingham snookered in return.
Yeah, as ever, no problem hitting the red. Can he get it safe? He'll settle for that. Will Stuart Bingham.
Yes, played to hit it full. That was giving him maximum chance of leaving the red safe. Trump looks anxiously to see whether he's left a cut to middle.
Yeah, as you can see there, he can certainly hit it. Can he hit it thick enough to make the potting angle? That's the question. Yes, he can. Now, how's the kiss in the pink? Well, the angle in the pink's good, but it's a tough cue ball, isn't it? Glued to that side cushion. Horrible shot this is in the pink. Does he take it on? The reason I say that, he'll have to play it with lots of pace to get on the yellow. I would say the odds of potting this playing position in the yellow are probably odds against. Extremely difficult, but he looks like he's shaping up to take it on.
Oh, Bingham likes that outcome.
Yeah, as I said, it was very high tariff difficulty, that pink, with the pace he was having to inject into the cue ball. It was so difficult, the cue ball never made the journey.
Of course, if Bingham had potted the pink, it would have meant that he was hitting the pink slightly thinner, so he would have had a shot at the yellow from distance. He wouldn't have been snookered.
Yeah, a bit disappointed there, Stuart. It was quite a big target in behind. Green, brown and black. Now, will Judd be tempted to take this pot on? I wouldn't think so. Probably thin it across back into the bit in behind the black spot area.
That's a better one. That's a much better one. Can he reach the potting out? Yes, he can. Not as good a shot as I thought from Bingham. Not as good a shot though from Trump as he hoped.
Yeah, that could be the beginning of the end. Wouldn't expect him to miss the yellow. How close can he get to this green ball? The green obviously goes. Yeah, it was obviously dead straight.
Two.
So this is the shot, Clive. He's obviously got a nice angle in the green, so if he cues this properly, it'll be nicely on the brown.
Five. Nine.
Yeah, the fact that he's top side of the blue here, you can almost guarantee he's going to have a nice angle on the pink in a couple of seconds. You would expect him to at least get close to the
14.
black. From Stuart Bingham's perspective, the closer the better. So he'll be trying to land the cue ball somewhere around the yellow spot. Oh, has he overhit this?
20.
He has. Is this still cuttable? It's certainly more difficult than he wanted it to be. Stuart Bingham won the first frame of the match on the black. He's won the last frame of the match on the black. He beats Judd Trump by 6 frames to 2 and will be Mark Selby's opponent on Saturday afternoon on semi-final day.